Welcome to session 10, our last session of free CFD-Post course presented by CFC Land. Today, our topic is case comparison. In CFD projects, we rarely run just one simulation. We usually run multiple cases to see how changing a design, a shape, or a boundary condition affects the flow. Instead of opening separate windows and trying to guess the difference, CFD-Post has a powerful built-in tool that lets us load two or more cases together. In this session, we will learn how to set up side-by-side views, synchronize our camera movements, and automatically calculate the exact mathematical difference between two simulations. As already mentioned in the introduction, our topic today is case comparison. You will face this in different simulations. A case in a point is the icing on a flying airfoil. What we did in this simulation was capturing the ice layer that is produced upon the surface of an airfoil. And now I need to investigate how this ice layer can affect the flow. To start comparison cases, you must first load two separate results files into CFD-Post using File, Load Results. So I already saved the files for both cases. You can see the data files of the clean airfoil and also the rough airfoil. So I start with the clean airfoil. So this has successfully loaded. And next, once again, from the load results, I pick the rough airfoil, but do not forget that you have to check keep current cases loaded. Otherwise, you will see that the previous one will be subtracted and you will have only one rough case. So when I check this box and press open, I will have both together in the same CFD-Post. So there we go. You can see on the left side view 1, which illustrates the clean airfoil, and on the right side I've got the rough airfoil. And now we can start our analysis using case comparison. First of all, from the Tools tab, you have to select Compare Cases. This is the main control center for your comparison. So let's start with all the settings upon this. First of all, you need to check this box to activate case comparison, and then pick the cases that you want to make comparison between. Of course, because I didn't load any more than two cases, I wouldn't have any other choice. But in case you've got several cases imported, you'd better select them from here. Then is the synchronize camera in active view. This is highly recommended and you need to check this box. When it is checked, it locks the cameras of all views together. If you, for example, zoom in or you rotate or pan the airfoil in one of the views, the models in view 2 or the other ones will be rotated exactly at the same time. And this is essential for accurate visual comparison. So as soon as I press apply, and now I zoom in, you can see it hasn't activated, and now we can see the case comparison is loaded and another separate view has just added. So from now on, as I zoom in, you can see the difference and it looks and do the same thing on other views as well. Next is the use absolute difference for scalar variables. If it is unchecked by default, the difference is calculated as case 1 minus case 2. This means your values can be positive or negative, showing exactly where pressure or other variable is higher or lower. But if it is checked, the software calculates the absolute difference. Let me lead by an example. To make the comparison between these two cases, I want to produce a plane exactly in the middle. So I need to place it at this specific region, and now I can use this plane to depict the pressure distribution. So simply I pick plane 1 and want to see the pressure distribution using 50 number of contours, and now you can see that. So this shows the pressure distribution around the clean airflow, and on the right side I've got it for the rough airflow or the iced airflow. So when I check the bottom view, which shows the difference between these two, I can see the value that is achieved by a simple calculation, data of case 1 minus case 2. But what if I get back to case comparison and check this box? As soon as I press apply, you would notice the difference. So as I said, the software checklist, the absolute difference, and now I can see the absolute one. And this is gonna be really helpful because I can vividly see where are the changes between these two pressure fields. And this can be a great help for understanding the physics and investigating the effects of any geometrical or flow parameters. Last but not the least is the mesh detection drop-down menu. It tells CFD-Post how to handle the GUIs of the two cases. First of all, you've got auto detect same mesh. The software checks if the meshes are identical. If they are, it calculates difference node by node. But when you select meshes are identical or even the meshes are different, it means we have different mesh densities or shapes, and CFD-Post will mathematically interpolate the data from one mesh to others, so it can still calculate the difference. So, of course, you can simply pick the default one and leave the responsibility to CFD-Post to do that. Now you can see the benefit of this tool. For example, based on my observation out of these contours, while the global pressure fields of the clean and rough airflows look visually similar, the difference view reveals critically localized aerodynamic changes. And let's start with the stagnation point in front. A prominent red zone appears at the leading edge, and this is the difference peak of 1.7 to the 10 power 3 Pascal in unit. Therefore, this shows that surface roughness or icing alters the local flow angle, shifting the stagnation point and reducing the effective leading edge suction. And I can also observe the trailing edge because these matter at most. And this is the secondary difference zone near the trailing edge indicates bound layer thickening and altered pressure recovery due to the surface roughness. And that's how you can benefit from a case comparison tool in CFD-Post. But this is not all, because this is not just about the visual things. We can be more accurate and produce even a plot. So let's say what I'm gonna grasp is the pressure distribution over the surface of the blade. This is 3D, so I need to define a line first. I'm gonna use the polyline module, and this polyline is established out of two boundary intersections. The first boundaries are the lower and upper surface of the airfoil that must be intersected with the plane one. And this is the final results. You can see the polyline that I can use to produce the chart. Next, from the upper toolbar, I pick chart. This is gonna be a line chart. And from the data series, simply pick polyline. And next, for the x-axis, I want to place the coordination of the airfoil, so x is my choice. And for the y-axis, I want to depict the pressure distribution. As simply as that, without any other change in the default values, I can press apply to see the final chart here. So what makes it great is that software automatically do these steps for all cases included. Both the rough and clear airfoil are plotted in here, and more importantly, it's about the difference one. So I can have the legend inside, so I notice what each line presents. So what we can see, for example, is that the suction peak degradation on the upper surface and the clean airfoil, or the red line, achieves a stronger suction peak of approximately, let's say, 6,000 Pascal. And this represents a kind of pig suction when it comes to the rough FO. And on the other side, for the pressure side reduction, which is depicted by the blue and red color, we can see the changes. And this difference does matter because this is exactly what we needed to know out of this simulation. So all in all are concluded in the green line, which represents the difference at different locations of this FO. And by analyzing this green plot, I can understand the aerodynamic impact of the iced layer film forming upon the surface of the FO. So this was just an example. You can try another cases and make comparison to see how much this tool is critical and important.